Thank you for choosing to tune into The Faction this weekend. It is a heavy music radio takeover like nothing we have done before. We know you can't go to Unify this year, so we are bringing it to you. All weekend on The Faction, you will hear the bands that played over the years. We'll dig up some old Unify interviews. We'll also do some new interviews with the bands that played at Unify. That brings me to this man. His name is Mikey. He's the man, the brains. He's the voice behind Melbourne band The Gloom in the corner. He joins me now. Mikey, thank you for chatting to The Faction.
Oh, thank you for having me on, man.
So you got to play what is now the most recent Unify in your home state. That must have been special.
Yeah, it was. Like, a lot of us have been patrons of Unify over, like, since it started. Like, I think I went to... Yeah, I think it was the second one because that was when I was old enough to go. So, yeah, that was, like, we've been, like, fairly frequent patrons of the event over the course of the last 5 or 6 years. It's actually how I met Paul, our current bassist. I met him at the first Unify that I went to. But yeah, like, we've always been big fans of the festival. We've always wanted to play, and we were lucky enough to get the Thursday night slot to warm everybody up for Friday and, well, more so Saturday, I guess, given how the weekend turned out. But yeah, it was an awesome time. But we went through quite a lot to kind of get to play that night.
Can I ask what you went through?
Yeah, of course. So kind of like a couple of months before we actually did Unify, we switched over our entire live rig to, like, we call it the big box, and it basically runs like all of our in-ear monitoring systems so we can hear ourselves properly live. And, you know, it runs like all like backing tracks, etc., all through a laptop. And there have been a couple of instances where it had screwed up on us just over the course of shows, but it had been tiny things. And basically we got to Thursday night and we got up on stage and we plugged everything in as per usual. Like, we thought we had it all down pat by that stage, and nothing was coming through the PA but hiss.
Oh.
So for the first 10 minutes of us setting up, which was our normal setup time, we were running around, like, frequently trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And surprisingly enough, for once, it wasn't something on our end that screwed up. Because there's a good old saying apparently amongst our fans where it's not a Gloom show if something doesn't fuck up. It's been a long running thing. So we were very surprised to find out that it actually wasn't on our end. And what proceeded to happen was whoever used the mixing desk last, like, some mixing desks are like digital, so you can put USBs in them for like certain settings, etc. Whoever used the mixing desk last, when he pulled out his USB, didn't pull it out properly and completely fried the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And we just happened to be the next contenders to use a desk. It's one of those things, it's an easy mistake to make. But in a festival environment, it's one of those fuck-ups which can, like, almost ruin the festival. So, yeah, for the next 35 minutes, we were standing around on stage trying to get everything sorted, and it wasn't on us. And our engineer, Joel, did the best that he could, given the circumstances. They had to completely reset the desk and everything. But what really made that performance special was we were standing on stage for 35 minutes, and everybody was just egging us on. Like, they were that eager for us to play. Even when Nick was doing like fill time to just, like, try and get the drum level adjustments right, people started moshing and stuff like that, despite the fact that we weren't even actually playing. So yeah, like, that's the best kind of reception that we've had as a band, was just, like, watching a crowd of 800, 900 people just, like, waiting eagerly to see us play. And then, yeah, when we finally kicked off 35 minutes past our scheduled slot, someone got knocked out 4 seconds into the set, which is what I love to hear.
That story, that anecdote is a testament to, one, the caliber of people who go to Unify, that they understand that these things happen at festivals, but they know that if they persist, they will get the music that they've come for. And it's also a testament to the people that come to see your band, because your music, there are so many elements in there. It's not a guy with a guitar playing folk songs. So anything that is off or askew with your sound, gosh, it's going to throw off the entire show. So I can understand why you were so nervous.
Yeah, exactly. Like, was our first like big performance in front of like a big crowd of people since I think we did the Chelsea Grin show in 2019. But even then, like that was just walking. But it was, as I said, walking up on stage and seeing people like support us, like even 35 minutes after we were meant to play, like that kind of thing was huge for us. And we couldn't be more thankful for people waiting around to see the set.
And last time I spoke to you, you just dropped that. It's not an album, it's not an EP, it's a trinity. You dropped that, Ultima Pluvia. I know it's hard to answer, but do you have some plans to put that into a live show in 2021?
We do. We're just waiting for the right time, really. It's, as said, I think I said this last time, it's just kind of, it's hard to gauge like what's going to happen. Like for a few weeks, we're based down in Victoria. Like for a few weeks we were okay to like kind of start bringing back shows, and then, we had like a little COVID spike again, and so people have to go put masks back on. So we're just kind of like, we're holding out just a little bit longer. And that's one of the reasons why we're holding off. The second reason as well is because we're just about to go and record the next record. So we're kind of like putting all our focus into that over kind of the summertime. So that when like we do come back, like we do have new material, hopefully we won't be waiting that long and we get to do something like an Ultima Pluvia release show or something along those lines before we start releasing new stuff, because we haven't really played any of the Ultima stuff live besides Violence. But that's the aim. We're just kind of sitting, like twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the right opportunity to come along. So hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But yeah.
Before I let you go, is there an all-time favourite set that you've seen at Unify?
I want to say the Ghost Inside was definitely one of them, because they were a big band for me growing up. Yeah, I want to give it to the Ghost Inside because it's the most recent one that I can remember off the top of my head. Body Jar as well, a couple of years ago. Yep. That one was really good. Because they were one of kind of like the first bands that kind of started getting me into music. Like it wasn't their whole discography, it was just a couple of songs, but like the one song that I'd wanted to see them play, they actually played, which was a surprise. But yeah, I'm probably going to give it to the Ghost Inside. Yeah.
Hey, Mikey, all the best with 2021, and thank you for chatting to the faction today and reminiscing some of those some of those great and not so great memories.
Well, thank you for having me, man.